Anyway, so Dynamite was I've just finished it. I stayed up to watch it because that beach break card, I could not. Yeah, big fucking card, big deal, great night. Let's get into it. I'm going to do it all right now because I'm just blown away. Our show actually opens up with Kenny in a backstage promo with Nakazawa, which was pretty cool. Obviously just saying, like, Max, this is it. You know, you're going to have to kill me to take that belt off me, essentially. Shit like that. You know, really good promo, a very intense promo. And obviously reiterates that the main event. I was worried it might have been the actual opener, but it isn't, thank God. And yes, we do get, obviously, a nice little... because I was there, he confirms there's no books, no one, just him. And if that's that, that's that. But, you know, end of the day, he's Kenny Omega. I'm like, fuck yeah, get you right in the mood. It is great. For this, though, we do get our first match of the night, which is Tommaso Ciampa versus Chris Jericho. Now, this was the match I didn't really want to see, frankly, but it was actually better than I expected. Ciampa looked solid. Jericho wasn't that bad. Straight away, you get to see the arena, and the arena obviously is absolutely great. It's great at this point. It's very, my friend Jacob said it was very peak WCW. In terms of, like, you know, there was sand everywhere. It caused some rough and gets everywhere. You have the sand, fucking Ciampa throwing sand at Jericho using a bucket. It's great. It's really fun. Honestly, it's just a fun little match. It's great to see Ciampa back. Ciampa gets the win, which was really cool. I was happy that Ciampa got the win. I was worried that they were going to give it to Jericho. The way it was getting set out, it felt like it was poised up to give Jericho a comeback win, but it's not. After the match, Ciampa does win, and then he goes to attack Jericho with a drill. And then, like, he gets called off. It looked like they were going to set up someone running in for Jericho. I thought Guevara was back on. I was scared. It's not the only time they teased, like, a little Guevara thing. And I was like, God, no. That very scared me, actually. But they don't. Ciampa just gets called off. And he gets in one of the rubber rings on the ramp and puts it on the drill and starts flying around. That was pretty funny. But as an actual match, it doesn't surprise me how good Ciampa was, because Tommaso Ciampa's great. It just surprised me that it wasn't god-awful. And that's it, really. But as an actual match, I thought it was pretty decent, inoffensive. I hope this is the end. I've got a feeling it isn't. I feel like they're going to drag this out to Redemption a bit more, but it should be. And I don't know what they're going to do with it. I feel like that should have been the way to end it, but either way, it was a good showcase of the arena, because the arena is absolutely fantastic. Clearly, this is where you feel the arena more, because it really takes advantage of that arena, because it's bright, it's not before the sun goes. It's really fun. It's a really fun crowd, and it's a really fun arena. I really like this. I thought this was a really good little opener, and just to set the scene, I thought we could really achieve that role perfectly. For this, we actually get a small little vignette of the Brawling Birds. Their existence is confirmed again. Obviously, it's nice to see them. Basically, we're just getting them back in season, because Allin is round the corner, and trust me, Allin is round the corner. But yeah, just the Brawling Birds vignette saying they're back, and that's it. Now, after this, we actually get a promo. It's outside with Ospreay with Renee, and he gets asked about Max, and he goes, "Well, it's not that Max isn't a good wrestler. It's all about the bullshit that you get with him. I know 12-year-old girls that are better than him." It's like, what? Then Max comes up, and then Max is like, "Well, why are you being disrespectful to me? I'm not disrespectful to you, even though I'm the champ and you're not." Rubbing it in, being a dick. And then he goes, "Well, Ospreay, you took that bag of dimes, and neck. I'm gonna break it in front of your country." You know, shit like that. And then Ospreay's like, you know, it's all the bullshit with you, all that shit. And then Max just straight up spits in his face, and then Ospreay's shocked that they just brawl. Ospreay full on kicks him, and it just goes, oh fuck, you know, kicks off. And then Max screams, "Kenny's dead, and it's because of you. This is all your fault tonight." It's like, oh fuck. So yeah, it really sets the scene. Obviously, Max gets really red in the face, but yeah, obviously Ospreay teasing an involvement, and I like that, because obviously now, after this, we get our AEW International Championship match between Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. This match was phenomenal. It was great. It wasn't as good as I thought it'd be, but I think it might need a rewatch. But in general, you know, I've just watched it, but you know what I mean? I feel like it was absolutely stellar. The chemistry between these two was obviously a lot. You know, you can see the pair of them are, you know, very experienced, got a lot of history with each other. Obviously, Takeshita's a lot more powerful. You know, a lot of knees. A lot of brutal bumps as well, especially to Fletcher. I mean, Jesus, Fletcher takes some nasty shit on the side of that apron. Takeshita starts pointing in front of Don Callis and Lance Archer, which I thought he was going to take out Lance, which would have been really cool, but he didn't do that. Not any other Don Callis family members in the match, which was pretty fun. I thought that was going to be something that we would have had to done, but we didn't. Yeah, him and Fletcher just it's a banger. It's a straight up banger. It's possibly match of the night. Like, it's hard to say it's not match of the night, because as an actual bell to bell, I think it is. But obviously, the main event is the main event. It's incredible, obviously, so there's a lot there, so it's very hard to distinguish. But I think bell to bell, based on pure wrestling, it is the match of the night. But again, it's Takeshita versus Fletcher, what you expect. I like the intensity. I like how they worked it in the sense of they didn't overdo it in terms of like dragging it on. It felt like a perfect pace. It didn't overstay its welcome, which was really good. The entrance from Fletcher was sick. He comes out with obviously a mask similar to Takeshita's, but had a noose on it. That was sick. Obviously a lot of kicks. He does a haluva kick to Takeshita, but to the back of his head. Fucking nuts. A brainbuster. The finish is absolutely phenomenal. He hits Takeshita with a brainbuster on the top of the turnbuckle. Absolutely brutal, like a brutal sell of it. And Fletcher gets the win. Fletcher gets the win, which is a bit of a shock, obviously, to a lot of people. Now, I was shocked. I'm not against it at all, obviously. It's a bit of a lackluster reign from Takeshita, but my friend Snotty I was watching it with, he raised a very good point. Takeshita's obviously going to the G1, and we've just come off of a whole period where the international belt wasn't active, so, you know, it kind of makes sense. And honestly, I thought as soon as he said that, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You got Fletcher now while Takeshita's away doing the G1 for about a month or whatever. You can build Takeshita and Okada. And then, for me again, the plan for All In, triple threat. I think that screams it, but it is a great match. Obviously, Don is absolutely thrilled. Takeshita's absolutely made up. And Takeshita's gutted, obviously, conglomeration. And Mr. Cole comes out. That was pretty cool. They come to say, like, you know, oh, don't worry. And then the Don Callis family all run out to celebrate. No Okada. Okada wasn't there. I thought that was definitely something they could have done more with, but they didn't. But obviously, Don's happy. And then Takeshita's obviously bragging. Then it cuts, and we do get our next segment. But as a match, bell to bell, I thought it was absolutely excellent. I thought Fletcher winning, it was a good call. I think that makes a lot of sense. You can hot potato that belt just to keep it active, because Fletcher, you know how good of a champ Fletcher is. This feels like a really good step. Like, if you're not going to give Fletcher the world international, he's above the TNT. Makes a lot of sense. And overall, I thought this was stellar. I think it had no reason being on this card. It just added to how stacked it was. It's excellent. Possibly my match of the night. Not the moment of the night. God, no. But it is definitely excellent. I really, really enjoyed it. After this, though, we do get a promo. So this was labelled as Mick Foley's promo segment, whatever. Now, this was something obviously just Don bragging, you know, the Don Callis family, and then obviously to Fletcher and all the Don Callis family members. And then Foley comes out and then starts giving Fletcher credit, and then, you know, like saying, you know, all this shit. It was waffle. And then Don goes, Mick, I want you to, you know, you're old, get away, you know, just giving him all that shit, saying we're champions. And then he basically goes to Mick, goes to Don, don't disrespect me, and then he's got his dog on his shoe saying, I'll let air onto you. It's like just dumb but perfect Mick Foley shit. And then, like, even Fletcher's like, go away, it's the facial from Fletcher, it's excellent. And then as it continues, basically Don goes, well, do you know who I am? I am. And basically just starts listing how good the Don Callis family is. And then he says Kevin Knight come out, and then Kevin Knight comes out. Him and Kyle have a bit of confrontation with the belt, and then calls out the Max title shot. And then you hear dun 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 dun, and fucking Andrade walks out, like, oh fuck. And it's most of the Don Callis family in the ring, and he's just staring and goes, Don, I come for the belt, you know, and basically reiterates his point and says, you are supposed to give me a belt, I am going to take a belt from you, La Sombra. And then Don goes, okay, amigo, and basically says, you can face Mark Davis for the international belt, which was like, bear in mind, Mark Davis being there. We haven't seen Mark Davis in weeks. I love Mark Davis. So then he's like, I will come for more, you know, basically insinuating more. And then he basically says, you want to come get me. Like, basically invites them to chase on. I think he basically calls out Kevin, which was definitely the good call. Then they all chase after Kevin. And, all chase after Andrade into the back. Now, it's, at this point, it's Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, I think it was Mark Davis and Kevin Knight. I don't know if Mark Davis was there, but the point is, I know it was Jake Doyle, Brian Cage and Kevin Knight. They're running in the back. after Andrade, and then they see Darby pops up when they're in the empty room, and when they go into the empty room, Darby throws a backpack, obviously, you know, trying to hit them with a skateboard, gets attacked. Then I think it's Brian Cage grabs the skateboard or the backpack, and then it blows up, as you expect. And then there's another blow up just by them, and then I think it's Jake Doyle goes, "You did that!" And then Andrade's got the fucking the pyro keypad, and he goes, "How you know?" And then they just start beating his ass again. And then obviously that's kind of the segment. I just thought that was absolute. It cuts back to Shivani. He's fucking loving it. I'm like, yeah, Shivani. Taz is just loving life. He's funny as hell this episode. But just Andrade with the fucking with the pyro board going, "How you know?" That was so funny. But yeah, I thought we were gonna get something with I thought we were gonna get a Bandido thing, Andrade teaming up with Bandido. We don't, but I'm not against that. I like this. I thought this was pretty fun, and honestly, Andrade getting more time, I'm never going to complain about seeing La Sombra, a real Latino man. After this, though, we do get a tag team match, which is Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay, the Death Riders, versus the Workhorsemen, JD Drake, and, I forget the other guy's name, admittedly. They get the Jobbers entrance, which is a bit of a shame. The match is pretty good. Moxley and the Workhorsemen have a good chemistry. It's such a pace killer. It feels like it is kind of to reset the show a bit. It's kind of a match that it didn't need to happen, but you know what I mean. It kind of felt net. It's a weird. It does say it's neither, but it isn't. It's so weird. It does kill the momentum of the show a bit. But it was fine. You're never going to get a bad match. I just think it brought the pace to an absolute halt. I didn't think it was. I think you could have done something else, personally. I think you could have just went straight into the women's gauntlet, but they didn't. Yeah, it's obviously they don't really do that much more developmental with Ospreay and the Death Riders stuff. It's kind of just at a stalemate. Just continuing. Moxley doesn't really cut a promo or anything. The finish was cool. The pair of them, Ospreay goes to do a Styles Clash. Moxley's doing a paradigm shift. They both hit it at once. That's pretty cool. Ospreay still doesn't leave with them, but yeah, it is definitely something. Yeah, it's a match that just kind of happened. It's a shame that it kind of killed the pace, but the show's still absolutely stellar, so I'm not going to complain. I thought this match was kind of meh. Didn't really like it, but it's not bad, you know what I mean? It's not the worst thing in the world. After this, we actually do get a small promo from Hikaru Shida, obviously gloating after her title win, saying, the TBS champ is here, going on. And I do like she does coin a new little catchphrase, TBS, you can call me the best of TBS, you can call me TBS champion, and TBS stands for the best is Shida. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Shida. I really like Hikaru Shida. Big fan of the call, giving her the belt. Not going to complain. I like it a lot. However, next, we do get our Women's Casino Gauntlet match. Now, the match itself is just kind of messy. There's not really much to say. The crowd weren't really super into it, except for 1 point, obviously. So we know Athena and Maya wailed with the two first entrants. Tekla's on commentary. She's having a ball. She's clearly drunk. But there's a big, massive lifeguard chair. And Mercedes is sitting in it, and she's looking at all the entrances a bit snotty. Even Tekla. They don't really do much with Mercedes and Tekla. That was definitely something. But they don't really do much. Maya and Athena obviously have a good little starting segment, but then obviously it devolves. I'll just go through the entrances now in order, because why not? The match isn't really too much to write home about technically. So third, we got Skye Blue. Fourth, we got Mina Shirakawa. Third, we got Rina. Made sense. Sixth, we got Julia Hart. Seventh, we got Thunder Rosa. And then eighth, we got Willow Nightingale. Not a surprise. I think everyone was happy about Willow Nightingale returning. She actually gets the win. She hits a beautiful powerbomb on Julia Hart, which was great. And the match itself was fine. Willow obviously getting that belt, getting that shot. She's obviously staring down Mercedes and Tekla. It really becomes tense. Obviously, Willow makes sense. You could do what you want with that. Then after that, Tekla gets in the ring and she goes to attack Willow. And then Mercedes saves Willow by hitting Tekla with the Owen belt. Now, when they got because before this, the Sisters of Sin are leaving, and then the Divine Dominion come out of nowhere and attack the Sisters of Sin. So it's like, okay, they're doing that. It felt a bit weird. I thought they were going to do something. I thought they were going like Willow might be teaming up with them, which felt stupid. Then Mercedes walks down. It's clearly doing a Mercedes. So Tekla goes to attack Willow. Then Willow gets saved by Mercedes with the Owen belt. Then Mercedes attacks Willow with the Owen belt. So then it's Mercedes standing tall with Tekla and Willow there on the ground. For me, everyone was saying you do Max and Kenny and Will as a triple threat. I don't care. that's the triple threat you do for All In. I think you have got to do Mercedes, Tekla, Willow. I think that's a big match. Like, huge. You got the two excellent heels with Tekla and Mercedes, obviously, and Willow being there as the super baby face. It works. I feel like you could obviously have I feel like you don't want to cheat Tekla out of getting that chance as well, the All In. I feel like everyone would say Max deserves it. Max is always going to deserve it. Max has already had that moment in the main event of Wembley, the first one, the biggest one. I feel like Tekla deserves this more. Mercedes, obviously, Mercedes can do whatever. And again, Willow, I think the game's Willow. So for me, I don't want to see Tekla cheated out of the Wembley. I don't. But as an actual match, it was fine. As a moment of Willow winning, obviously getting that shot at Redemption, pretty cool. Really happy with that. Obviously, just happy that she returned. But the pop she got as well was absolutely sick. Really good pop. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with this. I thought the match was fun. I thought it was a short roster. I thought we were going to get a few more contestants. Again, I thought we could have got like someone like Persephone and maybe one more Joshi contestant, but that might be me just being a bit too much. Either way, I thought the match was actually fine. It wasn't the best casino gauntlet, God no, but Willow coming back and getting the win is honestly all you need, and I'm pretty happy with that. After this, we get a cool little vignette to confirm that Jack Perry has resigned. They did introduce this by going, oh my god, let's talk about an AEW pillar. And I was like, oh god, we're not doing Sammy. And I genuinely was scared we were going to do Sammy, but no, we're doing Jack Perry. He's resigned. Not a shock. Obviously, Luchasaurus is in there. He speaks in the promo. I didn't like that. But Jack Perry's resigned. Not a shock. Really happy. Says he wants to be world champ. Like, hold your horses there, Jungle Boy. I like you. Well, let's park the brakes. But he signs it and puts the knife on it. Pretty cool. I'm happy Jungle Boy's resigned. I like Jack Perry. After this, we actually get just before our main event, we got a small little promo with Speedball. Gets asked about Kevin Knight, but then he goes, no, I want to talk about the Don Callis family. Calls out Mark Davis for this Saturday on Collision for the national belt, which was pretty cool. I don't know what that means with Andrade going forward, but I like that. So yeah, we're getting Speedball versus Mark Davis. Will be an absolute banger. But yeah, the Feet Eaters was sizzling. However, scrap all this. You can tell I wanted to talk about this. We've got our main event. We have got MJF versus Kenny Omega for the AEW Men's World Championship. Obviously, if Kenny lost, Kenny loses, this would have been his last chance. It's his last chance going into it. This match was phenomenal. Absolutely great. Short, sweet, no downtime. It just hit. It was one of those special atmospheres too. And it's like the atmosphere was really up for it. There's so many special moments. Kenny looked sharp. A lot of V-triggers. Max didn't look so weak. Max's tape is absolutely gone. They do go up. Kenny gets a bit of sand in his eye. That's kind of the only bit. There's this spot where he just pushes. I don't know. So Max is on the ropes. And he goes to set up Kenny to the commentary table. But he doesn't, and then Kenny reverses it and does a V-trigger, hits Max. Max goes flying to the table. That was absolutely phenomenal. Like a really good sell. That's when Kenny's trying to clean his eye out. And just as an actual match, Kenny looked really athletic. He looked the best I've seen Kenny in a long while. The atmosphere was genuine. It wasn't, like I say, with the Takeshita and Fletcher match, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best match of the night. I think bell to bell, the Takeshita Fletcher match was better, personally. But as a moment, this is one of the best they've ever done as AEW in terms of the atmosphere, everything. It's special. It's a very special match. And again, I've just watched the damn thing. It could be unbiased. I don't care. I think it's such a special moment. It really plays into the desperation of Kenny. Everyone who's screaming for Kenny to do it. He's got this desperation, even at the start, desperation in his eyes, the anger. He looks so locked in. Then you've got the V-triggers, obviously, the constant strikes. Then Max trying to get in there. He does a heat seeker, stuff like that. There's a brutal bump he does to Kenny's neck. It was like he does a poison rana to Kenny, which was fucking nuts. Kenny looks like his neck just got squished. It's gnarly. And it just continues, and then there's this moment, obviously Kenny's down, and then basically this was the moment where it's like, wow. And bear in mind, Kenny comes out to the entrance, doesn't come out to take flight, was very unhappy, but they do the rundown that you're like, oh my god, this is peak. But as well, so as soon as Kenny gets hit with a poison rana, and then Max goes outside to grab the belt. And then he goes in to go to and then Bryce is like, no, get the belt off, no way. You know, and then when Bryce is putting it back, he pulls out the Dynamite Diamond ring. Then Will Ospreay runs out and takes the ring off Max. Max is fuming, and Ospreay goes, no, no ring, no, no, no. And then Kenny goes up to hit him. When Kenny gets the belt, Kenny's got the belt at this point, and he's trying to like go to hit Max with it, but then he doesn't, because it's like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't, and Max is pleading, and then Max hits him with a low blow, and then Max gets him on the ground, goes for the pin. Kenny kicks out at 1. The shock on Ospreay's face, the shock on Max's face, and it shows Kenny's like he's like absolutely like that. He's staggering. He's got one eye closed. It looks surreal. It just, like, I'm a huge Kenny fan. Who isn't? It just shows how good Kenny is. Like, it's just that moment alone is absolutely phenomenal. It's special. It really is I'm getting a bit emotional. It's a very special moment, and it's a very special match. It just, how he's able to convey that last chance stuff it's absolutely incredible. It really is. And just everything bell to bell, it's that last chance. Frankly, it's an all or nothing moment for Kenny, and to know who Kenny is. And honestly, I've been very critical of how they've conveyed Kenny's story. I think this has worked. I think this has absolutely shown it. And I think how they sold it, like, there's like obviously Kenny's arms. Kenny's like arm, because he goes for a lot of one wings, and then like Max is scratching his eyes. Max's quads absolutely torn. Like, it's very much like there's a point where they're just both down and everyone's cheering for them to get back up. It's absolutely incredible. The V triggers are, like I said, it's super solid. The word to describe the match, the word of the day is desperation, and it just bleeds the emotion of that through the match. It's incredible. It's a masterclass of emotion in a match. It's a very special atmosphere. Obviously, the crowd are really into it. After that kick out at 1, I've not seen a lot of wrestling like it. It's a special, like, there's still people cheering for Max. Taz is livid, but like, he's like, that's Ospreay's fault. But like, Kenny, like, the amount of people, Kenny, because the crowd's brilliant all night. It's incredible. It's truly a special match. I don't care. It's special. It's not even the best bell-to-bell match of the night, but the atmosphere, everything, the occasion of it, it's special. It's like the Mercedes Willow match at the New Year's last year, or the end of the year. It's special. It's a special match. It's a special memory. It's an iconic Dynamite moment, and it's not treated as like a one and done, like a quick moment like Darby's was. It's very seen as much as a Kenny's up there. You know what I mean? Kenny's back to his best, and you're like, the cleaner's back. I was saying that I was watching it. The cleaner's back, and Kenny eventually does like the Snapdragons. Obviously, you can't escape. He does a lot of dives. He does this beautiful dive off the barrier. Max gets his legs up. It's absolutely incredible. It's an incredible match. Kenny hits the one-winged angel. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega's champ. Kenny Omega is our new AEW Men's World Champion. He's done it. Max is obviously in disbelief. It doesn't show Ospreay. Ospreay's gone at this point. Kenny has the belt, and they put the graphic up. MJF is not in the match. It is Kenny versus Will Ospreay. AEW All-In main event. Kenny Ospreay 3. The 1-on-1. 1 in Canada. 1 in Japan. This is it. I don't know why people were doubting this. Dreamworthy. Absolutely dreamworthy. What a Dynamite. What a way to end it. This was spectacular. I adored this main event. It's one of my favourite moments of Dynamite ever. And possibly AEW ever. And I get to see Kenny Ospreay free. Nothing more needs to be said. This is something very special to me. Very special. I fucking love it. Oh yeah, that is obviously my thoughts on AEW Dynamite Beach Break. This was absolutely phenomenal. I loved the card. I thought the matches were, the moments that were created, the Willow return, the Fletcher winning the belt, Kenny winning the belt, even the Andrade stuff was funny as hell. And the only bad thing, even Perry confirming a new contract, stuff like that. It's a great card. Is it one of Dynamite's best ever? Moment wise, yeah. It's one of the AEW's best moments ever, Kenny winning that belt again. It really is, and I don't care. It is. And then you've got obviously the Willow return setting up. It feels very momentous. It feels like one of those big Dynamites, like Summer Breakthrough last year with Joe and the Ops won against Moxley. That stuff, it feels like that. It feels momentous. It feels like a game changer. Don't be wrong, Kenny versus Ospreay for me was always going to be the play it all in, but just seeing it confirmed, seeing the graphic, and just, again, that moment of that match is just, it's special. It shows, frankly, it's one of those moments where you're like, I fucking love AEW. I love professional wrestling. That main event for me it's not even the best match of the year. It's not even there, but Jesus, I might be underselling it because the moment it gave me was so good. It's stellar. It's stellar. It's one of my favourite moments I've ever experienced in wrestling. I can't go over. I'm kind of stunned still, to be honest. But yeah, I love Kenny Omega. I love all of this. I love AEW. I don't care. I don't want to say I'm kind of emotional, but you know what I mean. I thought this was absolutely phenomenal. I don't care. I do not care. So yeah, that is our AEW Dynamite Beach Break. Sorry. Let me know what you thought of the show, and who gives a shit? What is your thoughts of Kenny being champ, and what do you think Kenny versus Ospreay 3? Because, oh my god.